Academy of Art University's K-Art News is next. Coming up, the FBI is investigating a suspicious bank deposit belonging to the San Bernardino shooter.
Plus, outrage over Donald Trump's remark about Muslims and a look at their point of view.
The confusion over the difference between natural and organic food products. We'll have the full story coming up next.
And the real meaning of the term Netflix and chilling, all that and more coming on K-Art News next. Hi there, welcome to the Academy of Art University's K-Art News. I'm Tiara Garrett.
And hello, I'm Giselle Prado. The FBI is looking into a $28,000 loan taken out by the San Bernardino shooter. Saeed Farouk, sources say the loan to Farouk was from a San Francisco-based online lender. Farouk and his wife, Tashfeen Malik, emptied their bank accounts and maxed out their credit cards before going on what is believed to be a suicide mission, knowing they did not have to pay off the debts. Farouk's transactions support the belief that the attack was planned and not part of a dispute with a co-worker at the party. After the recent massacre in San Bernardino, leading Republican candidate Donald Trump proposed a complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States. He claimed this would be a temporary proposal until the U.S. can find out and understand the reasons for the recent attacks by Muslim terrorists abroad. The ban would apply to immigrants and visitors. Concerns are being raised about active military who identify as Muslim. Trump confirmed that this will not apply to people living in the country.
Donald Trump is receiving backlash from members of both the Republican Party and conservatives. GOP Chairwoman Jennifer Horn said his idea is un-Republican, it is unconstitutional, and is un-American. Chairman from South Carolina, Matt Moore, via Twitter said, Donald Trump, bad idea, and rhetoric send a shiver down my spine. However, a Trump supporter and campaign manager are finding his proposal reasonable and that this proposal will apply to everybody, including Muslims who are seeking immigration visas as well as tourists who want to enter the country. Trump's campaign did not release whether or not this would apply to U.S. citizens and travel outside the country. To be misunderstood is to be Muslim in America. False ideas about the Islamic faith have been divided a nation that is home to 1.5 billion Muslims. Let's listen to one follower as he tries to clear the air.
One of the challenges that millennial Muslims are faced with today is the obvious one, the depiction of Muslims in the media. For example, when you turn on the TV, when you watch the news, a terrorist attack happens, in a Muslim household, everyone's praying that it's not an Arab man or an Arab woman committing the crime, because the aftermath, the results of a terrorist attack is bad for the entire Muslim community. It's just unfair, you can't walk the streets of your own neighborhood without being, blamed for a heinous act that you had nothing to do with.
All races in America have experienced or witnessed a form of racism, but a recent poll showed that it is not on the rise as of 2014, the beginning of 2015. K-Art News reporter Taylor Kimber has more.
Racism has affected the lives of many, whether from social injustice or just from being who they are. It is a topic that should not be taken lightly.
Even as an African American president, our president is still treated sometimes like a second-class citizen still. His word is not being seen as law. He's not getting the respect that he deserves. He's being heckled in different times where he's giving speeches as African Americans. When we talk about police brutality, that still goes on today, from New York to Ferguson to Los Angeles to Phoenix. It happens all the time.
In a recent poll from CNN.com, it showed that only 49% of Americans believe that racism is a big problem. This number has also increased from the year 1995, but it still is compared to the 33% who believe it's somewhat of a problem, other than the 9% of Americans who say racism is not a problem at all. Some would say that this is history repeating itself, but others believe it will take community effort to fix this issue.
That as a community we need to come together and we really need to say these are our priorities and these are the resources that are available to us in the community, and we can begin to target those areas and have a greater impact.
Missouri still is very much racist. I grew up in a small town and racism there is very bad. My experience with it is I dated an African American guy and people in that town treated me very badly and him very badly.
No matter what, your gender, sexual orientation, religion, or who you associate yourself with, it appears that differences of opinions won't go away anytime soon. In San Francisco, I'm Taylor Kimber for Academy of Art University's KART News.
About 2/3 of Blacks and Hispanics believe that it is likely the level of racism in the United States is more or less the same, and that more people are either aware of it or blinded by it.
Coca-Cola is under fire. An advertisement released by Coca-Cola Mexico revealed a group of Caucasian teens bringing bottles of Coke to a remote village in Mexico. People went to the internet to criticize Coca-Cola for promoting imperialism and racism. Coke released a statement saying that the video was meant to convey a message of unity and joy. Coke has now taken down the video due to all the negative criticism. Chipotle is to blame again. The E. coli outbreak that is affecting Chipotle restaurants across the country has now reached Massachusetts. Recently, at least 80 students have gotten sick after eating at a Boston College Chipotle Mexican grill. Health officials believe the foodborne illness may actually be norovirus. Tests have been done, but the results will take several days. These Chipotle illnesses have hurt the company's reputation, and its stock has fallen 3% on trade in the last several days.
Online Safeway customers may be getting some money. The grocery chain has been ordered to refund customers who purchased online. A San Francisco federal judge has ordered Safeway to pay almost $14 million to customers nationwide who bought groceries through the website. Apparently, customers were unaware that they were being charged 10% above regular store prices. Safeway plans to appeal. Have you ever felt consumed in a marking or selection at the grocery store? Organic, natural, cage-free, so many choices. Are you buying what you think labels say? Alicia Edwards has details.
Not too long ago, organic foods was only sold at the health food stores. Nowadays, organic foods are a regular feature at the supermarket. But have you ever wondered, what's the difference between organic and natural? 1/3 of people think natural means organic. The term organic is tightly regulated. However, the FDA has no definition for the use of the word natural. Although a lot of products use natural, that doesn't mean there aren't unnatural ingredients in them.
I have to basically watch what I eat, so I drink a lot of water and try to stay away from a lot of sugars and a lot of fatty acids and a lot of things that starches and stuff like that, just for now,
Take this brisk iced tea, for example. It says lemon flavor with other natural flavors. What does that mean? Look at the ingredients. It has a bunch of stuff that is even hard to pronounce and synthetic substances. So there's natural flavoring in an already natural product. How does that work? Oftentimes we see products that advertise all natural. However, in reading the ingredients, it's a whole nother story. In order for companies to obtain the USDA organic certification seal, they must go through a rigorous 3-year process. Their products must be free of pesticides, synthetic fertilizers, hormones, antibiotics, and genetic engineering. According to the USDA, since 2008, organic farms have jumped to 72% in sales. More people are demanding organic foods and being conscious about their food choices in the growing process. Meet Yurel. His family owns Rio de Paras farm in Santa Clara County for over 10 years. He says the organic process is long to grow, but the outcome is worth the wait.
Brussels sprouts organic, it's one of the hardest things to do because aphids love them. So on that, it goes from 4 to 6 months to get them ready. Beets, are ready within 60 to 70 days. Cauliflower within 90. Potatoes will take like 90 to 120 days.
As the fight between organic versus natural continue, will you make a conscious decision the next time you go food shopping? In San Francisco, Alicia Edwards reporting for KR News.
Check your local listings for more information on where to find organic foods at the farmers market.
California water suppliers still struggle with drought rules and have forced communities in California to cut their water use by 36%. On Monday, water officials ranging from the city of San Diego to Santa Rosa came together in Sacramento to discuss the difficulties of keeping up with the water conservation. Officials informed state regulators that whether it's a booming population, warmer weather, or uncooperative residents, keeping up with water savings is harder than they had thought. And now that the rainy weather has arrived, they question the need for the water reduction.
Uber is testing out a color-based service called Spot. It allows both passengers and drivers to identify each other more clearly. It can be dangerous to jump into a car thinking it is your Uber ride. It is also terrifying when you do not drive for Uber and someone gets into your car thinking that you do. According to Connect, Uber is testing out Spot that allows riders to select a colored light that Uber drivers will display when they arrive. The spike in mass shootings put a high demand on security. A new app is on the market that grants BART users some assurance in safety while traveling. The BART Watch app allows passengers to quickly report suspicious activity while being discreet. You can anonymously report any suspicion through a text and a picture. If you have no cellular connection, your message will be stored and sent out as soon as connectivity resumes. Lots of talk lately about one of the newest Apple products. The new iPad Pro has a screen that is nearly 13 inches and up to 128 gigabyte storage. Can an iPad Pro replace your personal computer? Fiona Liu has details.
The iPad Pro is available in silver, gold, and space gray. It has the required processing power and a stunning screen, but as a serious work device, it's not there yet. Despite the Pro in its name, it's a better fit for more casual laptop users. Scarpelli, who is a design lead, and Hudson, who is a tech lead of Academy of Art University, has more to say.
I'd say that, like a lot of Apple products recently, it's not necessarily a huge innovation, but it's probably a beautifully aesthetically pleasing version of things that are kind of out there already.
It's not very useful without the pencil. The pencil seems to be the best part of it, or the best thing that makes it very useful. The processing works pretty good. My old iPad 2 is very slow. The iPad Pro is very quick.
The new iPad Pro is narrowing the gap between a tablet and a laptop. So how would the consumers think about this idea and the product? Do they like it or not?
My boyfriend has the iPad Pro, so I was already convinced that it was a good iPad. It does decrease the barrier between a tablet and a computer.
If you want something small, the other iPads might be better for you. But if you are a graphic artist or somebody who needs a keyboard, the new iPad Pro might be your choice. The keyboard will cost you extra $169. The iPad Pencil feels as close to writing on paper as possible. In San Francisco, Fiona Liu for Academy of Arts KR News.
The new iPad is coming up in 2016. Should feature home screen customization tools, a new way to organize apps, and more.
Your Christmas lights may be the cause of slow Wi-Fi. A British utility published a report showing that 20% of poor Wi-Fi performance was caused by electronic gadgets and lights in the home. The solution? Lighten the electric load, especially if you've gone wild with the holiday lights. The slang term Netflix and chill is quickly blowing up the internet and is becoming part of mainstream vocabulary amongst teens and college students. KR News reporter Karan Brown has more on what this phrase really means among young people.
In today's youth, everything has a deeper meaning. Most would assume that when someone invites you over for a movie night, that's just what they mean. However, society's youth has developed a different phrase with a different meaning. Jasmine Gwynn gives her opinion on the term Netflix and chill.
Personally, I don't really agree with the whole connotation with which we take it. Like, it's become something that's just a way for guys to, get some with the girl, and it really abuses the female power and stuff like that. I just don't agree with it. Like, can't we just actually watch TV and cuddle or something? Do we have to go further than that? Like, it's kind of like you're expected to do something more, and it puts pressure on women. And I'm not the type of girl to do that. So I think this generation needs to really rethink our values and rethink our morals.
The terminology has been used since 2007. Even though Jasmine speaks about morals, there are some parents that feel like it's bound to happen, so why stress about it? The father of a 21-year-old female and a 14-year-old male, Brian Shane, discusses his viewpoints on the terminology.
Okay, the concept of Netflix and chill has been around forever. Maybe it wasn't chilling and watching TV at home, but you're either going to the movies, to a drive-in theater, or parking somewhere in your car. So the concept has always been here. I think it's just important for people to be smart about what they do when they're Netflix and chilling, and it's not going to stop it for me to say one way or the other, but all I can say is just be safe when you do it.
There's even a condom for it. These images are not sponsored by Netflix, but of course Netflix is enjoying the attention and capitalizing off the terminology. Also, at the 2015 World Maker Faire, Netflix engineers developed a Netflix and chill button. They're naming it the Switch, since Netflix and chill does not seem appropriate. The button sets the mood. Press it, the lights become dim, phones are put on silent, and the streaming begins. Minutes later, well, use your imagination for the rest. The terminology has even been incorporated into an app. It's similar to Tinder, but called Tiki Talk. When you open Tiki Talk, your screen is a list of dating ideas. There are options like getting ice cream, going to dinner, and of course, Netflix and chilling. The app shows you the distance of the other users based on location. You can invite people in your area to do the activity with you, and if they agree, a chat window will open, and you can plan your date from there. In San Francisco, I'm Kawan Brown for Academy of Art University's KART News.
Netflix's current stock price continues to rise. The company now has more than 65 million subscribers and a permanent spot in the teen lexicon in 2015.
It's not just fireworks on the court when the Warriors have the ball. There's also plenty as a part of the game experience. I went behind the scenes to find out what it's all about. All members from Pyrotechnics have to arrive 5 hours earlier before game time to set up for the Warriors' opening game time show.
We see we have continuity. The device that we're going to be shooting there works. Test on the backboards on 1, 3, 2. Hi, my name is Kevin Cruz. I'm with Pyro Engineering. I am an event producer, a special effects coordinator, and a pyrotechnician.
I'm at the Oracle, where the behind the scenes has a big role to play before the game. The fireworks, sound placement, and special effects are very tedious jobs. This takes a lot of training and experience.
Probably have the most stringent licensing requirements. It takes several years of training, on-the-job training, to get approximate or a movie-type pyrotechnics license.
Before the fireworks are approved, the fire inspector has to check them out.
It's required by the state of California that a fire inspector is on site anytime pyros are to be used to make sure that the operator is following all the state of California regulated requirements.
In Oakland, California, I'm Tiara Garrett with the Academy of Arts University's KART News.
Boards on 1, 3, 2.
If you want to check out the Warriors fireworks show, make sure to come 1 hour before the game to witness it.
San Francisco-based sculpture artist Conrad Guevara is working on his latest gallery project for his upcoming show outside of the U.S. I have the inside scoop on the collection. Conrad Guevara is participating in the 3rd Material Art Fair in Mexico City, showing with his sponsoring gallery City Limits, an artist-run collective in Oakland. His inspiration comes from phrases he admires or finds an interest in.
So for the Material Art Fair, I'm working on a whole show, all new work. It's an exhibit in my mind that's called kubiku, which is a Japanese term for a scarecrow.
The show is about abstraction, de-escalation, and the overwhelming sense of violence that is going on in the world.
For the show, I'm making a series of oil-on-canvas paintings, all 16 by 20, of portraits of scarecrows' faces, and brushy and seemingly some kind of figurative but a little abstract paintings of scarecrows' faces that'll line the gallery. And then in the center, a really small balsa model of like a shooting gallery.
Conrad doesn't just work alone on these projects. His wife Jen is his biggest fan, who helps him with supportive ideas and keeps him motivated.
Connor and I have always kind of loosely joked about me being his manager. So I do things like making sure he eats right, and we bounce ideas off of one another. We generally just engage in conversation that I think eventually informs Conrad's work.
Jen expresses how she feels about Conrad's show idea. She likes that Conrad has chosen to create something that is politically specific, and how Mexico City is the perfect place to show his work.
Conrad's work is often really abstract, and there isn't often an emotional backstory that people often search for when they're considering other people's work. But I like that this is sort of a cohesive idea and it's politically resistant. And I think it's going to be a really interesting body of work, and I think it's also going to fit really well in Mexico City, because Mexico City is a notoriously politically resistant place. So I'm really excited to see what he creates. It's weird. It's always weird, and I never know what it's gonna be in the end, but it always is amazing.
In San Francisco, I'm Giselle Prado for Academy of Art University's K-Art News. The Material Art Fair in Mexico City is the only contemporary art fair dedicated to emerging practices. The event will be featuring over 60 galleries, nonprofits, and artist-run spaces.
One of our talented students here at the Academy of Art Universities is an up-and-coming music entertainer. Here's Greg Ivory.
Thank you. Today we have the pleasure to be here with the honorary Cam Jones. So Cam, tell the people about yourself.
What's going on, man? I'm originally from this small town by the name of Santa Maria, California. And for those of you who don't know where that's at, it's about an hour north of Santa Barbara. For those of you who hopefully know Santa Barbara a little bit better. But Santa Barbara, it's like right off the coast. And so that's my hometown. That's where I'm from.
That's what's up, man. So how'd you get your start?
I start with music. Man, I was just a kid, man. I was like around 13 years old. But the thing is, I've been an athlete my whole entire life, so music has always played the background role. Whether it's just like me going to games, I'm always around music, you know what I mean? And even growing up as a child too, my father introduced music to me at a very young age. So like around 13, 14, it started out with just like poetry, writing short stories and stuff like that. And then it slowly turned into like my life, like raps and stuff, like, you know what I mean? Rhyming. So yeah, that's basically how I got my start. Okay. And ever since then, it was just kind of like it was a feeling that baseball never really gave me, or just athletics did in general. So it was just a feeling that I had to immerse myself in.
Yeah. So with that being said, what's the difference compared to the other rappers out there? What's the difference with Cam Jones?
The difference between Cam Jones, like I said, man, I just try to keep it genuine. I think there's a lot of rappers out there that do certain things, or they create music just for the wrong reasons, you know what I mean? Or they try to put on a persona that necessarily isn't really them. Not that there's a problem with that, it's just that I think people gravitate towards me a little more just because solely the fact that I keep it genuine, and they just look at me as just a normal guy, which is, I'm perfectly fine with that. So, But yeah, man, I just think it's just that's what separates me. It's just I try to keep it genuine for the most part.
Right, and keeping it genuine, like what's the inspiration behind your music? What's your inspiration?
My inspiration, man, is just there's a lot of things out in life. It's everyday life. I just, like I said, I just try to keep it about myself. Everything that you hear through my music is very personable. I like giving the people my story. You know what I mean? It kind of gets that relationship as far as like from fan to artist.
Right,
you know what I
right,
mean?
right.
So I think that's something that people will definitely gravitate towards. And that's something that like a huge separator as far as like today's modern artists and like what Cam Jones has to offer.
Right. With that being said, so what's the latest?
The latest, man. I actually just put out a new song yesterday. It's entitled "It's a Go." You guys can find that on SoundCloud. It's just Cam Jones, all lowercase, period. I actually have a couple visuals in the works. Hopefully in the next couple months here. I'm excited for that, for you guys to peep that too, and music videos and stuff like that. And then I actually have a little project of maybe like 6 to 7, 8 songs, somewhere around there. Nothing too finalized, but that's in the works as well. So I'm excited for you guys to look out for that.
That's what's up, man. We'll definitely be on the lookout for Cam Jones. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you, Greg and Cam. With only 3 more weeks until Christmas time, Taylor Kimber has more on a fun indoor activity for all ages to enjoy.
It's almost. The Fairmont Hotel in San Francisco is just the place for you. Take a look.
For more than a century, the Fairmont Hotel in San Francisco has pleased the community,
I'm not
not
dumb, I
Bill,
did my
and
whole
guests
VO,
from
come
all
on.
around with a gingerbread house. What started in 2008, this 22 feet high and 23 feet wide deep is made by hand with over 7,000 pieces of gingerbread, 500 pounds of icing, and 700 pounds of candy. This creation takes approximately 375 hours to create and 520 hours to construct its framework. But not only do the adults get a kick out of this huge treat, but the furry friends do too. This year, a new addition has been added for the younger ones, Santa's Playroom, which allows kids to watch movies, play with stuffed animals, have kid fun, but most importantly, write a letter to Mr. Claus himself. Not only is the Fairmont Hotel full of exciting history and great views, but what makes this year's gingerbread house special, it was named the largest one in the entire state of California. But not to worry, this smell good treat is even saving the environment. All of the edible ingredients are composited and the framework is even recycled. Either way, the Fairmont Hotel is making everyone's spirits bright.
In the spirit of giving, the Fairmont Hotel also gives out nutcracker ornaments and a gingerbread cookie to decorate during the weekends. You can visit the gingerbread house from now until January 1st, 2016. Back to you.
Thank you, Taylor. This Christmas holiday will be the highest holiday spending according to the National Retail Federation. But which Bay Area city has the biggest holiday budget? Palo Alto banks #1 in the entire country for the biggest holiday budget, coming in at a whopping $2,886. Sunnyvale is #11 with about $2,100, and San Francisco is #67 with $1,300.
With the holiday season in full swing, I recently attended a holiday celebration which attracted people all of faiths and backgrounds with an emphasis on giving and gratitude.
Fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way.
San Leandro Annual Christmas Festival brought hundreds of people to witness the tree lighting. Christmas is not just about its religion, but it's about everyone getting into the holiday spirit with their families. But for Carmen, she came to this event alone.
Growing up as a child, me and my family were Jehovah's Witness, so we didn't celebrate Christmas. As a child, me and my brothers would sneak down to the Christmas tree and, you know, celebrate the Christmas festivities. And if our parents found out, we'd be in trouble. So as I'm an adult now, when I have a family, I'm definitely going to incorporate Christmas in our holiday celebration.
Having this event really helps the community get into the holiday spirit.
Hi, I'm Pauline Cutter and I'm the mayor of San Leandro. And about our Christmas tree, it's a holiday tree. And what we do is try to bring the community together during different parts of the year. And this is one way that we can do it. And it also looks really good and it gets everybody excited about being in our city. And for the kids especially.
The event did not allow any religion symbols, decorations, or souvenirs. This was an event focused on the season of giving and not focused on the religion.
I personally find it really fun because people of San Leandro get to come together and bond and check out all these cool things, and it really makes the kids happy, so I like the event.
In San Leandro, California, I'm Tiara Garrett with the Academy of Arts University's KR News. That's it for this edition of the Academy of Art University's KR News. For everyone here, thanks for joining us. I'm Tiara Garrett.
And I'm Giselle Prado. This is our last newscast for this year. Have a great holiday season. Join us back next year. Happy holidays.